All right.
Okay, the clock moves forward. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hunt again. I got another roadkill. And a Gogok. Okay, so Gogok is really fast. It's a 2-star creature. Having only upgraded one piece of equipment, a 2-star creature might still be a little hard with mostly 1-star equipment on. It's got 6 speed, so it's clearly faster than me. It hits normally for 5, but with the roadkill in there, it's now going to hit for 6. And it has 5 defense. And so I'm going to have to hit it twice in order to beat it. This is where weapon skills are a must. Okay, so the 2-star weapon has 3 weapon skills on it. 3-star weapons have one of those weapon skills at a 3-star level. And so the weapon skills are quick shot that lets me use bones as ammo, and I could fire them using a ranged weapon, hit the monster, and bring down its defense before the battle even begins. Berserk lets me double the power of my weapon, but my defense gets dropped down to 1. And Guard lets me put up my defense, but I've got to give up my speed and hold still. And so I've got 3 options using the 2-star weapon. Again, when I upgrade, I'm gonna have to decide which of those skills I want on my weapon to stick with my weapon. Okay, so in this case, I am going to guard, and so I'm gonna put my defense up 10, and I'm gonna give up my speed. And if you remember, the Gogok's got 6 speed. I only had 1. Giving up my speed in this situation totally makes sense. So I give up my 1 speed, but it puts my defense up 10. Ooh, still gonna be a little tight. Okay, so I put my defense up. I forgot he's got the 1 point from the roadkill. So I put my defense up 10. I now have 10, 11, 12 defense. It will hit me for 6. It drops me down to 6 defense. I will hit it for 4. It drops it down to 1 defense. It's going to hit for 6 again, and my 6 defense that was left over is going to be depleted. But I'll go ahead and use my Mercury, and that'll put me up to 13 defense to begin with. So if he hits me for 6, I drop to 7. If he hits me for 6 again, he'll drop me to 1. And then I'll be able to return a hit of 4. And so, just to recap, it's going to hit me for 6, drop me to 7. I hit it for 4, drop it to 1. It hits me for 6 again, drops me to 1. I hit it for 4 and defeat. Okay, so our camera shut off. Once again, I defeated the Gogok using my guard ability, putting up my defense. And I ended up having to use a Mercury as well to put up my defense just a little bit more. Okay, so I was able to kill it, and both these cards now go into my inventory. David's turn.
Okay, I found the solution for my Rockman puzzle. 6 minus 5 is 1 plus 2 makes 3. And so now I could finally join the hunt as well. But, like we said earlier, that ends my turn.
Okay, so it's now 11 p.m. And David's grandfather's trunk was quite tricky. My grandfather's trunk was breezy to open. Okay, so I have a Kalinchi, a Gogok, and a couple Roadkill. Depending on how you're playing, if you're playing cooperatively, competitively, you may or may not be working together. In our videos, we're going to be playing cooperatively, so you can just see how players playing through the story together are, in some ways, you're playing against either the monster, against the clock, you're playing against the world of Urkasa. And so what's neat about this view that you're going to see is we could be playing solo as well. And if we want to, we'd be competing as well, and there's different rules for that. On the back of these cards, you also find different ways that people play the standard chapters on our forums on trybatch.com. Okay, so my turn. I'm going to go ahead and hunt again. I got another roadkill. Let's see what else I'll get with it. Another roadkill. I'm going to push my luck, and I'm going to draw again. You know what? We might as well see what happens if I draw again. Another roadkill. And like I said at the beginning, you could draw up to 5 monsters. So I've got a Kalinchi with 4 dead monsters laying around it. So they're going to boost the Kalinchi's power by just 1 each. And so the Kalinchi's got 1 speed. It now will have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power, and it has 2 defense. And so I'm going to hit first, and I hit for 4. It only has 2 defense, and so I got extremely lucky here, and I could take all 5 of those cards with me. And that's the end of my turn. Now, even though I was super lucky at drawing all those roadkill, at 5 cards you have to stop your turn.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so something you haven't seen yet. There is a skill on your complete 1-star set. So when you have a set of 1-star equipment, you have this ability called Play Dead. Helps you if you're like me, little newbie hunter, and I pulled a Gogok. So we saw Michael struggling to fight this with an upgraded weapon. I don't have the luxury of having an upgraded weapon yet. I'm going to play dead. What happens is this card's going to get discarded, and I will continue drawing until I get a star monster less than the Gogok. So he's a 2-star. I just pulled a Kalinchi, which is a 1-star. I'm going to defeat him similar to how Michael fought him. My stats are 1, 1, 2. 1 speed, 1 power, 2 defense. I'm going to boost my power, so we tie on speed. I'll hit him first for 2, and he will die. And then I'm going to go ahead and craft an upgraded weapon. And this is the end of my turn, so Michael could actually go.
I'll put these here. So in Chapter 1, when you upgrade your weapons, they just go out of the game. So in this case, we're just setting them right here in a pile. Any of your equipment, your Chapter 1... 1-star equipment goes out of the game as you upgrade it. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this a little bit out of order. I probably should have crafted out of my turn. So right now, if David wanted to, he could call crafting priority. But we are playing cooperatively. So I'm just going to upgrade. I'm going to upgrade my sternum with 2 bones. The roadkill has bones, teeth, fur, whatever, extra stuff, but I'm just concerned about the bones. The other stuff, if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it. That's okay. So I'm using 2 bones from that to get the Oceanic Vest, because I want a little bit more defense when I go into these battles. So that's getting discarded, and you know what, I might as well take the boots as well. So I'll do another couple bones from those roadkill, and I'm going to get the Shoes of Foliage, and that gets discard out of there. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident now going into these battles. Okay, and let's go ahead and draw.
Notice how much time has gone by that he could have done on my turn.
Yeah, so, but in a pinch, you do what you gotta do. Okay, so
wasn't in a
Polarilu.
pinch.
Oh, it's gonna be though, because I'm gonna be pushing it. And since we're playing competitively, if you know,
Playing cooperatively.
or cooperatively, since we're playing cooperatively, these extra monsters I get, I can give them to David as well, if he's nice. Okay, so 9 speed, 6 power, and 7 defense. I'm gonna have to hit it twice. It's gonna hit me for 6. If I guard now, I can put my defense up 10. I have 6 other defense, so I could defend for 16. So I could take 2 hits from it, because it's going to hit me twice for 6, which is 12. And I've got 16 defense, so I take the 2 hits, and I could hit it twice, and I could kill that without using anything special. I need the Polarilu. I don't need the Gogok and the Kalinchi. I'll hang on to him. Maybe I'll want to trade with David for something.
I'm going to be a little risk adverse and stop there. Polarilu has 3 speed. He hits me first for 1. I survive by 1, and I hit him for 4, and he's dead.
Okay, clock moves forward. How cooperatively are we playing?
We'll see it towards the end.
Okay, I'll hang on to these. Okay, so my turn. I am going to draw. That's what I was looking for. Pasu Bukasa. Okay, I'm just going to stop there. So I could draw some more. I could draw at least one more. But I won't. This is all I need in order to complete my quest in this chapter. So I'm going to draw. I could fight it. It's easy. It's 5 speed. I've got 5 speed. I hit it first. I'll use the Berserk ability so you guys can see that. So I've got 5 speed. It's got 5 speed. Tied for speed. I get to hit it first. I'm going to use Berserk. It drops my defense down to 1. And so if it hits me, it's going to kill me. But it's not going to, because with Berserk, I double my power. And so I'm going to hit for 8. So I'm going to hit it for 8. It's going to die. And so I use Berserk and kill it. Run in there and smash it. And that's the end of my turn.
So I'll stop there. 5 speed's faster than me, so I'm going to guard, boost 10. That gives me 13 defense. He hits for 14. This is going to be tricky. So this is a good opportunity to show you
Teaming up.
how a team-up battle works. I can't defeat him. I could run from him. To run from monster, you just have to have half its speed rounded down. He has 5 speed. I need 2 speed. I have 3 speed, so I'd be fine. But instead, since we're playing cooperatively, I'm sure Michael's willing to help me out. When you play cooperatively and you assist each other, basically Michael could lend me one of his stats. If you're playing with 3 people or 4 people, you could have 2 players lend you stats. So the key thing to remember, though, with assisting another player, if you lend someone else your power, you're also taking their weapon ability. Now, it doesn't make much difference here. Our weapons are both 2-star. They have the same weapon abilities. But as you craft these up and get a unique weapon skill, that's going to make a difference when you are assisting another player. So just remember, if you lend power, you lend the weapon skill as well. So if Michael had a ranged weapon and I had a lightweight weapon, he lends me his power. I can't use my guard skill because I'm using his power, and the power is carried with weapons. So, and the skill is as well. So
essentially, when you're lending a skill, you're agreeing to do that action in the battle. So if I give him my power, I'm going to be the one that runs up and hits it with my weapon. So it's my weapon being used in the battle. If I lend him my defense, we're agreeing that I'm going to take the hits while you use your speed and power to defeat it. And so my abilities, my stats, whatever I lend, replaces his. His aren't used.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Michael to borrow his speed. Michael has 5 speed, and the Opossum Picasa has 5 speed. This gives me first strike. So Michael's running around like crazy. The monster's chasing after him. I'm hiding behind a tree, getting ready, and I'm going to berserk and smash the Opossum Picasa. He only has 5 defense. I'll hit for 8 with my weapon, and he'll be dead.
Okay, hour progresses. Okay, so I've got everything I need to get back. If you notice, there's something called the Chief's Gift. See if it's on the back of this card or if it's on the start of the next one. In the instruction manual, you'll see that there's a Chief's Gift.
It rewards you.
You're rewarded if you come back successful. It's dependent on how quickly you finish. And so I was very lucky in how I played. I could have played a little bit faster maybe and gotten back even earlier. So on this turn, I'm going to be moving back to the village and reporting back to the chief so I can increase my gift that I get from the chief for getting back. Before I go, I'm going to give David the things I don't need. Now, in Ricasa, you can trade with other players or just give them stuff. And so I'm not going to need these. They have no use for me now. He does need these things to get through his qualification. And since we're playing cooperatively, I'm just going to hand those over to David. And because I'm going to move, and as soon as I move out of the road, we won't be able to trade items anymore. And so I give those up to David, and I'm moving into the village. That completes my quest for chapter 1. You're going to want to make note of what time you come in at. And so I came in at 2 p.m. And so I am complete on this adventure now. And returning to the village, you're going to report back to the chief and turn in those spoils.
As an easy way of tracking, since there's going to be probably a few more turns, Michael could use a dice to notate what time he returned at. So he returned at 2 p.m. He could just put a dice at for 2.
Easiest with how much time how many hours until 6, because at 12 p.m. you won't be able to put down a dice for 12. And so you've got, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hours until 6, so I came back with 4 hours to spare. So just go ahead and set yourself up like that. I've got my spoils plus 4 hours to spare.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, any player interactions, you must be in the same tile. So not just trading, but assisting players. You have to be in the same tile as them to assist them. Michael's now ended his turn. It's now my turn. So I have 2 of the monsters I need. I just need a few more. I had crafted all my stuff up. So I have a Gagak and a Pasubukasa. That's rather challenging.
You could sheesh.
Okay, let's see.
I was say range, but you'd have to.
I don't outspeed them.
Claw. It takes 2 claws to teeth.
Let's see here. If I guard, I'm gonna get. That'll give me 15. This is tough. They're the 2 highest level monsters, and so they have 11 speed, 11 power, and 10 defense. Quick shot would be useful in that I could hit them for 8. Because it's 2 bones on a Gagak, times your power of 4. But even hitting them 8, I'd have to be able to take one hit from them, and that's not going to happen here. But the nice thing is I do have enough speed to run for them, so I'm going to run. They're going to get discarded. I lose this turn, which is unfortunate, but at least I don't lose in my next turn if I were to die. So it's now my next turn. Michael doesn't go since he...
when you run, you actually have to leave, but in this case, he's leaving and just coming right back at the beginning of his next turn.
Yeah, we're just moving time forward faster. Pull Gagak, or excuse me, an Pasubukasa. I'm just going to stop there. Don't want to replay the last experience. So this one's a lot easier. I have 8 speed. He has 5 defense. I'll berserk and hit him for 8, and he's dead. That ends that part of my turn. I have 2 turns left. So
notice how quickly
there it is. So I'm just
players finish, it speeds up really fast.
So I'm just gonna stop there. That's the monster I need. I'm gonna kill him. That ends my turn. Unfortunately, I can't go back to my next turn, so another hour goes by. Now I'm gonna return to the village, and I am done. Unfortunately, I'm barely, panting as I run into the chief's house, whatever he lives in, hut, whatever you want to call it. But Michael returned a lot earlier. So at the end of the chapter, we return everything to our grandfather's trunk, in a sense repaying our debt of breaking into his trunk. So everything but your spoils, your 4 spoils from your hunting, the 4 spoils you need to return to the chief. You hang on to those, but everything else gets returned to the chief, the hunting trunk, before you go visit the chief.
And essentially what that means is you're going to take, for setup for the next chapter, you're taking all of your items and returning them back to the different decks that they came from. Story-wise, it is returning everything back to your grandfather's trunk. So that's chapter 1. again, you're going to remember what spoils you had at the end, how much time you had left over. The time left over will turn into items at the beginning of the next round or the next chapter. Chapter 1, you may have noticed, there is some of you might be saying, man, David, if he didn't have, the spoils given to him, luck played an extremely important role in chapter 1. And you'll see that in the chapters, the one that relies more on luck and chance has a huge impact on it is chapter 1. After that, each chapter, actually all of the chapters after that, luck isn't doesn't make as big of a impact. And that's because chapter 1 is very fast and it relies a lot on things playing out just right for you to quickly get out there, get what you need, and get back to the village.
The other thing with the reason why it's so heavily weighted on luck is at the start of the game you don't have the resources to help you prepare for a battle that you will in the preceding chapters.
And so you don't have any other decisions.
Sissy says.
Yeah, Sissy. So you don't have any other choice. You have to deal with that puzzle. And then you're still at the mercy of what plays out on the road. And so it's a neat chapter of chance. You're limited by getting that puzzle open, and then what the tricky part is with whatever remaining time you have getting back. And now if time ran out and one of us didn't succeed to come back and qualify, there are options for how the next chapter would start. So it's not just, I didn't get back, I lose, I'm out of the game. It's, okay, now going forward, what happens? And the punishment in chapter 1, starting the next chapter, it's not a huge difference if you didn't succeed in chapter 1. And depending on how you play it, it could actually be advantageous, maybe, depending on what you're doing and how. And so, hope you enjoyed the video chapter 1. If you have any questions, need anything else explained, send us a message on the forums. You could contact us on Facebook. And you can also email us. All of the information is in the instruction manual. You can find all of our contact info in the thank you section of the instruction manual. And go ahead and you are ready to see chapter 2.
And just remember, this one's very long because we explain a lot of key parts. So the next chapters after this will be a lot faster on the videos.